The atmosphere in the small house suddenly became heavy when James's father, from far away, made a decision that left the whole family speechless. He agreed to let James marry Diep, but firmly refused to accept raising Nhi. However, James and his mother also tried their best to convince their husband. The next phone call opened a ray of hope. That afternoon, the atmosphere in James's house suddenly became heavy. Diep was sitting in the living room folding clothes. Nhi was sitting next to him doing homework. James's mother was making tea while answering the phone from her husband, who had lived abroad for many years. But after a while, her expression changed. Her husband's deep and decisive voice rang out on the phone. He thought carefully. He agreed to let James marry Diep, even though she had been married before, but he did not accept raising that child. It was not his blood. James's mother trembled as she held the phone. Her voice choked. "Grandpa, the two of them are not at fault. The poor girl has lacked love for so many years. You cannot separate her from Diep." But on the other side, the man's voice was still cold. "I don't want my family to get involved in other people's troubles. Just Diep. If James wants to marry, then marry, but the girl has to go." At that moment, James walked in, having heard the entire conversation. He approached, picked up the phone, and said firmly, "Dad, I have made my decision. If I marry Diep, I will also raise Nhi. I cannot abandon a child who has considered me family." The other side was silent for a few seconds. Then his father said harshly, "Are you going against my will? Do you know what you are giving up?" James closed his eyes and took a deep breath. "I know. But I can't let Nhi get hurt anymore. I'm sorry, Dad." Then he hung up. The room became deathly silent. James's mother sat down on the chair, tears streaming down her face. Nhi walked over tremblingly, whispering, "I'm sorry, I'll go, as long as Uncle James and Diep aren't sad." Diep hugged Nhi tightly. Her voice choked. "No one can force you to leave. No matter what, I won't leave Nhi." James's mother also came closer, hugging both of them. "Don't be afraid. I will talk to James's father again. I believe he will understand." James held Diep and Nyi's hands, his eyes determined. "We will overcome this together. Family is to protect each other, not to separate." That night, when the whole family was asleep, James's mother sat alone in the living room, calling her husband again. Her voice was both soft and firm. "Honey, I have seen James's happiness when he is with his two children. Please do not separate them. Life is too short. Keeping a child who needs you is also keeping the family's blessings." In a corner of the room, Diep gently opened the door and saw James's mother sitting in front of the yellow light, her trembling hands holding the phone, her eyes red. That scene made Diep speechless. She felt the tolerance of that woman, a mother who was willing to sacrifice, willing to beg her husband just to protect Diep and her children. The next morning, the house was still covered in a heavy atmosphere. Nhi woke up early, quietly cleaning the breakfast table without her usual innocence. Diep walked out, saw her hurriedly cleaning the dishes, her eyes still red. She gently held her hand. "Nhi, don't think too much. No one will abandon you. Everyone is always by your side." James sat at the table, his face pensive. After breakfast, he went out to call his personal lawyer, wanting to find out about Nyi's legal status so that if necessary, he could legally adopt her. When he returned home, James found his mother watering the plants in the yard. "Mom, how did you talk to Dad last night?" His mother put down the watering can and sighed. "He hasn't softened yet, but I believe he's just afraid you'll have to take on more responsibility. I'll talk to him again." Suddenly, James's mother's phone rang. It was his father calling from abroad. James's mother turned on the speaker so the whole family could hear. His voice was warmer than last night, but still serious. "I've been thinking all night. If you've decided, I won't stop you anymore. But I have a condition. The child must be good. Must be educated properly. I don't want her to become a burden in the future." NHI timidly approached the phone, her hands clutching the hem of her shirt. "I promise to be a good girl and study well. I just want to be with my mother and Uncle James." On the other end of the line, his voice slowed down, as if softening somewhat. "Okay. I'll believe you for now. When I get back to the country, I'll see you." The call ended. No one said anything for a few seconds. NHI suddenly burst into tears. Hugging Deep, James walked over, patted her head. "NHI, don't worry. From now on, we have to work together to make him see that you are worthy." That afternoon, James took Deep and NHI to the park near their house to relieve stress. They sat together under a big tree, the afternoon wind blowing gently. NHI smiled again, telling stories from class, while Deep quietly looked at James, feeling warm inside.